All right, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Robert Kavinda, and with me today on my first video that I am posting on my YouTube channel is based on variation. Yes, in the question that came in 2024 paper 1 GCE. Yes, so I would like us to go through this question together and try to find the solutions. All right, so the question reads under variation, given that y varies directly as x and inversely as the square of z, as the square of z, okay, as the square of z. So one thing that you need to understand about variations is that the first thing that you need to do when you are solving variations is to come up with the equation. You write the equation which will mean the same with a statement. Okay? You come up with an expression that will denote what you've been given in the statement. So we are saying, or we are told, y varies directly as x, meaning it varies. This is the symbol for varies directly as x. Okay, and inversely. So in variations, when we just see the word and, it falls under a joint type of variations. So in this joint type of variations, the and simply means multiplication. So you're going to say y varies directly as x, and so our and will be a times, just as I have said, a multiplication sign, that means and. Inversely as the square of z. So inverse is simply 1 over the same z, because we've been told that it is inverse. So this one is coming as a result of the inverse as the square of z. Okay, so this is our variation expressed in a mathematical way. All right, so after you've done that, your second step is now to introduce the constant k. That constant number is the amount that changes in either the quantities that we have, either in x, in z, or in y. So in this case, that constant number should be introduced right after the symbol for varies. Okay, so when you introduce it, it will be as follows: k there, okay, then x multiplied by 1 over z squared. Okay, hope you understand from there. So now, after you've introduced that constant k, okay, this constant k is now the change that is happening in x and also in any quantity. Okay, so here we have z. Okay, so in this case, you now change this variation symbol. You can put an equal sign so that you now begin solving. Okay, if you want, you can say x times 1, then multiplied by k, you're going to have kx over z squared, like that. Okay, now, after we are done, when you look at the question that we have, you've been given all the three values of x, y, and z. So the three values that we've been given for x, y, and z, these are the values that you need to use to find the constant k. So remember, when you are dealing with variations, after you come up with the equation, the second step is now for you to find the constant k. That is your second step. You should know first of all the constant k. What increment or what change was happening in these quantities that we have. This is why it's very important to find the constant. It shows the change that happens in the quantities that are varying. In this case, we've got x, we've got y, and we've got z. So this more reason why you've been given the x value, the y value, and the z value. So when you look at these values, you've been given all the values for the letters that you have there. Okay, so that means you use these values that you've been given to find the constant, to discover the constant, that is the change that was happening. Okay, so it is called a constant number because in every change, either decreasing or increasing, they are following the same increment, which is the constant. So in this case, our y is 4 there, which is equal to our k, that's what we are finding, and our x we have 8. Okay, so this is over. Then we have z squared. Z is 2, so it will be 2 squared. So we are going to have 4 is equal to 8k over 4. All right, so from here, if you want, we can just reduce that, where I would say this is 4 is equal to 2k over 1. Okay, or you just say this is over 1, you cross multiply, is still give us the same thing there. Then you divide by 2, even there by 2, cancel. You are going to have k is equal to 2, like that. That's our value for k. Now that you've known the constant or the change, the amount of change that was happening in the variation that we've been given, therefore you can now go ahead and answer the questions that you have. So already the first question says find the constant of variation k. So already you have your 1 mark here because we've already found our constant. So I guess this is our question A. Now question B. So our question B, it says find the value of y when x is equal to 18 and z is equal to 3. So you now bring the same equation that you made there. Y is equal to kx over z squared. So y is equal to, remember you are finding the value of y, and they've given you the changes that happened in x. Okay, so we have our k to be 2 multiplied by our x we are given in the question, which is 18 over z squared we are given to be 3 squared. So in this case, we're going to have 2 multiplied by 18, that would give us a 36 over, we have 9 down there. Okay, so let's try to enter that. So let's just say 3 there, that is 3 over, then we have 3 there, that is 1, so we have 12. So the answer will be automatically a 4, like that. That is the value of y. So remember, these numbers that you are given are just used, or you only use them when you are finding the constant k of the variation. and then now you begin to answer. Once you just use this, it ends there. Okay, so the last question we have is C there, which says the values. So as you can see, it is the values, not one single value, but you have the values of Z, because we know that a Z has a square, so it should give us two answers. Okay, so let's bring our equation. Y is equal to kx over z squared. So what is our y? So we are given from the same statement also, when x is 25 and when y is what? 2. So where there is y, replace with 2. This is equal to, where there is k, already we have our k to be 2. Our x, what are we given? Which is 25. Okay, this is over z squared. We are given to be, I'm sure that's what we are finding, so you just say z squared. All right, so this is 2 is equal to 2 times 25, sure we'll have a 50 over z squared. Alright, so from here you can do the cross multiplication, where you're going to have 2z squared, which is equal to 50. Alright, so we divide by 2, then we're going to have z squared is equal to 25. And to cancel the square, you need to introduce the square root so that you get rid of that square. So remember the rules of the equations. What you've done here should also be applied on the other side. So once the square and the square root goes, we remain with z, which is equal to, and the square root of 25, it's 5. So remember, when you are finding the square root of any perfect number or any number, you have answers both in positive and negative. So our answer is 5. That's the square root of 25. Therefore, the values of z will be a positive 5. I just separate them from here, or negative 5. These are our answers. Thank you so very much. I mean, if you enjoyed my short lesson, why not follow and subscribe, like and share? Thank you so much. See you on my next video.